Welcome to Herbonomics on Cannabis Tech. I'm your host, Christina Etter, and of course with me today is my co-host, Tony Solano. Tony from iHemp Manufacturing. Welcome back, Tony.
Thank you very much, Christina. I'm so excited to have Carla Boyd from Hempway Foods here in my home state of Colorado.
I can't tell you how excited I am to have Carla here on the show and talk about Hempway Foods. You know, I feel like right now we're seeing this huge push for plant-based diets and plant-based foods. And I think we've all kind of discovered that there are alternatives out there for some of these comfort foods that we've kind of been used to in the past, meat-based, animal-based products. And some of them are absolutely incredible. So Carla, thank you so much for coming onto the show today and talking to us about Hempway Foods. And you know, we would absolutely love to hear about your journey into this and how you got started.
Thanks so much. I'm really excited to be on the show. I guess it's a little bit common, but I feel like it's unusual. Just the way Hempway Foods was born. I've been in the advocacy cannabis space since 2009, and then I moved over to the hemp space around 2010, 2011, and just fell in love with just everything the plant could do. And I found myself having some nutritional issues, and I wasn't really happy with a lot of what was in the freezer aisles already, just because it was just packed with just soy, and a lot of them have gluten and just unneeded oils and things like that. So I don't know, I'm from the South. I love to create. I've been, like a home chef for a long time. So I just dove in and created my own recipe, and I love feeding people. And so I just started giving it out to random friends. And before I knew it, I had complete strangers calling me wanting this hemp burger that I had made. And I didn't really know how I was going to do it. I didn't know really what we would end up becoming, but I just kind of dove in and tried to learn, talk to CEOs of like Goodnight Chocolates and, Lily's Chocolates, and just anybody and anyone that would give me the time of day of how in the world to put a company together and just kind of do it. And we just started in like really small restaurants and local retailers. And then 8 years later, here we sit with more of a regional type of approach. We just launched in Southern California. We're in the Whole Foods in Colorado. And actually yesterday we talked to a Canadian distributor that really wants to bring us all along the Ontario area. So I don't know. It's all exciting. And, I know it seems like this day when the phone rings, I don't know who it's going to be, with what opportunities might be around the corner. So it's amazing. We're still very bootstrapped, so that there's been some definite challenges trying to run a regional-based company on a bootstrap budget.
Sounds like it has been lots of fun, very challenging, but lots of fun along the way. Tell me, what has that kind of process been like? Because I imagine with creating a food product, I mean, obviously, number one, there's going to be a lot of regulations for that alone, but then you factor in, the hemp factor, and I feel like there's got to be a lot of questions and a lot of challenges to overcome in that area.
Yes, definitely 8 years ago, there were a lot more hurdles than what I'm seeing now. But I mean, I have to do a lot of explaining with insurance. I'm going through a new carrier right now. I got denied from the company that I've been with almost since I started, but in some ways it becoming a little more mainstream. I don't know, it brought a little more attention. So now I'm getting denied from my really inexpensive liability policy, and they're wanting me to go to like what an extraction company should get, which I've already filed like rebuttals on that because I come from the insurance world. I had a franchise for 6.5 years. So they're just trying to stick me in a category they shouldn't, because some people just don't understand. But, I find the more once I educate and explain things, usually I don't have to jump through huge hurdles, but you know, I still can't really go to a bank and get a loan like your typical small business can. And you know, I have to have a separate hemp manufacturing license, which I'm the same as peas and carrots, so I don't know why I have to have my own hemp manufacturing license when I'm, yeah, like I'm making food just like these other veggie burgers are. So, you know, but I mean, it's reasonable. I think it's $100 right now. It's going to go up every year, but you know, it's not breaking the bank by any means. But there are little things that, you know, crowdfunding. I tried to do this. It's called Kiva, and it's actually a really good nonprofit just for small micro loans for businesses that other people back, and they won't do hemp. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in the farm bill. Like, come on. Again, same as peas and carrots. You know, so not horrific hurdles, but, you know, I've definitely seen them along the way. I mean, more than anything, it's, you know, the comments that the consumer, you know, will make occasionally. But I'm really finding that more and more people are just educated. I'm obviously not doing as many demos as what I used to do, but I was just in Southern California and did my Jimbo stores, and I mean, not one single person, I think maybe one person made a joke, but everyone understood that it was nutritional hemp food. They didn't even ask me if CBD was in it, and that's what I was so impressed about. Like, I get that asked that all the time. And I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, yeah. I was so impressed. Like, I really was. I didn't hear that one time. You know, I heard one joke. You know, oh, is it gonna get me high? But they knew. People can't resist the joke, no matter if they know or not. They have to put it in there. So
that's great. And I'm assuming, and again, you know, I just feel like right now we're seeing this big push for people to switch over to more plant-based, sustainable food sources. And I can imagine you're probably seeing an increase because of that push in change in ideology. And I know, I mean, I was just telling Tony before you joined us that my husband and I have been actually moving towards more plant-based foods and trying to eliminate a lot of things. And you know, I feel like these products have come a long way, and there's just so many more options out there now, and they're just as comparable to meat products, you know, traditional meat products.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I like to really talk on the aspects of Hempway Foods is, you know, we kind of, I like to say we're a flexitarian, you know, we're the flexitarian's best friend. I mean, obviously a lot of our customers are vegan or vegetarian, but, you know, we're not trying to mimic being a fake meat. That's not, you know, like, we're wholesome ingredients, you know, lentils, organic brown rice, flax, chia, garlic, pepper, salt, spice, you know, hemp hearts. So it's vegetables and food combined together to make a really good burger or sausage, or even the Crumble can do things like hemp pot pies, and it's so amazing. And yeah, tacos, lasagna, you know, things like that. But you know, it's not about saying, hey, you cannot eat meat anymore. But I would say, you know, it's the person that's trying, like you said, trying to eliminate so much meat. It's, you might eat meat once or twice a week, or a fish, or a chicken, or, you know, an egg. And again, obviously, you know, I do have a large vegan and vegetarian base, but I think so many of Americans are looking at reducing their, you know, meat, white meat, red meat, you know, fish, whatever that is, and they're looking to increase that plant-based. So this is that super healthy, really nutritional, but yet it's the item that makes you not want to miss that meat. Not that it's trying to taste like it, but you just don't need it necessarily. And you're getting the minerals and the protein, because that's where I feel like a lot of these companies are really missing the mark. You know, they're touting 24 grams of protein. We can't digest 24 grams of protein in one sitting. our bodies won't. I think we can digest around 13 within an hour. So why would we need 24 grams of protein in one sitting?
That makes me think of another question. Carla, do you ever get customer feedback from people who experience high blood pressure and then transition to your product and reduce their meat intake and see a difference over time?
I do not make any medical claims, first and foremost, but no, I've talked to quite a few of my customers that really, I mean, it's made a huge difference in their blood pressure medicine. I mean, it's not just because they're, you know, they're following you know, a stricter plant-based diet, like, you know, they're not doing as many prepared foods. Like, my food's technically a prepared food, but it's so minimally processed, you know, that it's, but, you know, and it's definitely lower in sodium. So that's, you know, that's where people are seeing, yes, when they cut back and eat wholesome plant-based ingredients, and they're getting minerals in addition to your protein. They're getting that well-rounded, nutritional profile. It's whether you're eating Hempway Foods like that or you're incorporating your own meals like that, you know, you're going to see a difference. But we just make it easier. You just don't have to spend hours in the kitchen and it tastes like you did. We take that job at heart. So
Tony, you actually have a good statement that you make on a regular basis about taking these baby steps and taking these incremental steps and all of these things that we can do, you know, to help increase sustainable food sources, to help increase the amount of plant-based foods that we're incorporating into our diet. I think all of these little incremental steps help. So to your point, Carla, you know, if we're not completely eliminating meat, that's fine, but let's at least start taking some of those incremental steps and see, you know, how much improvement we see. And that's, you know, personally, my husband and I, over the last 6 weeks of trying to go more plant-based and reduce the amount of meat, we've seen a big difference. So, you know, I think that's the big thing too, is just really kind of encouraging people to take that challenge, you know, take that 30-day challenge and switch and just see how you feel at the end of that 30 days. Because I think that's, you know, what it's done for us is really kind of made us believers in how much better we feel.
There's a right way, and then there's a hemp way with the 30-day challenge. Carla, I can relate to some of the challenges that you mentioned being an entrepreneur in this space. And now you're a seasoned veteran with years and years and years under your belt. What would you say is your greatest accomplishment so far?
You know, the greatest accomplishment, I really believe that we've had a major hand on educating the public with hemp nutrition. I made it a point to spend a lot of my time traveling, and I did, you know, a lot of CBD conferences and things, and a lot of people didn't understand my motives, but I wanted to show that there's other things to this plant. And obviously now, but years ago when it was just all CBD, all CBD, all CBD, I took that as a platform to show that it's not just about CBD, that there's so many other amazing things about this plant. And so I'd say I was really proud of at that aspect of doing that and persevering.
Right? It's the do or die spirit and having that intestinal fortitude to ride the roller coaster. And a lot of people come and go in this space, but you're still here. And you incrementally grow over time, which is really cool to see. And you were just at NOCO a couple of weeks ago in Denver. You know, thanks Morris, Lizzie, and that whole team. They did a great job. And you won an award, which was super cool to see you do. And the award was made from hempwood.
I know, it was awesome. And yeah, we won the Elevation Award. So it was a big honor to receive that, because it's been just a lot of years of navigating a way through, you know, not just a frozen food, because when you look at the frozen food aisle, there's reasons that they're big giants out there. It's really tough being a small company working your way into the frozen food aisle. It's not easy.
I can imagine so. So let me shift gears here just a second, though. And in addition to being the CEO and founder of Hempway, you are also involved with the Women's Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that and your involvement with that organization?
Yeah, I've been part of that for, quite a while. Addison is amazing. We haven't had, a super active chapter. It's been on and off, but who has in the last few years? It's been really tough with COVID. Right when we were really doing some huge momentum,
Right.
we were like, took a little bit of a halt on some events, but we've had a few, and it's been great representing, and just I've had quite a few people through the chapters call me and just ask advice, and a lot of it is don't do it unless you have a lot of backing, because I can tell you I make bootstrapping look glamorous, and it's so not. It's really not. It's not fun.
I will echo your comment.
I think I talked more people out of it than...
I'm pretty sure that Greg Wilson with Hempwood last week made that point perfectly clear too. That it's not easy to get into this industry, and it's not the big dollar signs and the whole green rush that everybody thought that it was. Especially like you said, Carla, when CBD kind of took over the market, and everybody thought that this was going to be the next big boom, but truth be told, this is just another industry that not only has all of the regulations of regular traditional industry, but then it has all of these roadblocks and hurdles because of the fact that it's coming from a plant that was so misunderstood for so many years. So it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, and like for instance, I've been in the space bootstrapped a really long time, and then there's companies coming in right behind Hempway Foods with millions of dollars that are a hemp company, and you're like, wow, holy smokes, like, really? And you're like, I've been...
Yeah, it's like, hey, how do I get on that gravy train? Hey, me over here, yeah.
I know, I'm like, I've been here for so long. Really, guys? $8 million in funding before they even launched. And I'm just going, wow, what am I doing wrong? Because I have an amazing tasting product. Like, really, really good. And I'm like, wow.
That right there is the $8 million question.
I know, I'm like, what did I do wrong? Who do I not know?
How much more do I have to suffer to make this more of a reality, or just 1% of my dream to come true?
It's clawing up, but no, there's a lot more notoriety. I mean, today, I got a email from my distributor saying that Sprouts is requesting samples, so it's on a regular basis. I mean, there's a lot of interest, because I'm going to the National Restaurant Association show in Chicago. It's like the Super Bowl of the whole food industry in May. It's like the largest food service expo in the U.S., because I'm representing Colorado with the Department of Ag for hemp food. This is a huge opportunity. This is, major. This is not just restaurants, but it's food service from colleges, from major universities, hotel chains. They're going to be looking for unique items, and I don't think, so I'm actually really excited to be representing Colorado hemp food at this expo. So it's, the Canada buyer yesterday, when I was talking to him on the phone, he's like, do you realize how important this is? This is the Super Bowl of the food industry. I'm going, really? It's really that big? I mean, I know it's big, but he was like, no, it's huge. I'm like, oh, okay, great.
I'm going to ship you some of my straws and utensils that are both certified home compostable to see if they can be put to good use with you.
No, they definitely could. I can put, stuff on my table like that because I.
So let's dive into that a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your product line and how the ideas came together for this product line.
So, I created, like I said, I was looking for a nutritional product for myself. So I created the burger first. And it's, very wholesome ingredients that are easy. It's hemp, lentils, organic brown rice, flax, chia, amaranth, garlic, pepper, salt, spice, psyllium husk. Like, that's it. So we have a 4-ounce burger, and they're in restaurants, places like Cactus Jack's up here in Evergreen, Cooper's on the Creek. Like if get stuck in traffic, you always pull off in Georgetown and go have a great hemp burger at Cooper's on the Creek. A lot of tourist destinations type restaurants. But no, so the burger, and then we have a breakfast sausage. The only difference is it has Italian seasonings and fennel, but hemp is a chameleon, so it really grabs on to that seasoning of the fennel, and it just takes it on a whole different profile. And then the crumble and the burger are the same. It's just the crumble is what I think is the future. That's really, in my opinion, the future of food service, because that's where, the tacos, the prepared foods like the pot pies, the lasagnas. I've been talking to some of my grocery stores and they're just not quite catching on yet. But I'm like, come on, guys, I'll share the recipes because
you're so close.
I know. Can you imagine just those little bitty hemp pot pies, the little small mini ones? I mean, being able to buy that at the grocery store, and they're so delectable. They really are. I mean, it's just, they're so amazing.
You know what else you could make? A Hot Pocket.
Yeah. Hemp Hot Pockets. I mean, the prepared food side of this is unlimited. I mean, I have a cooking show I would love to do, but, it just, all in due time. All in due time. I can only wear so many hats. So...
I can definitely feel that as a woman in the cannabis industry with my fingers in lots of different things. I can definitely feel your pain there. So, but you actually kind of brought up a good point, though. What is the roadmap? Do you have more products that you're looking to put out there? Do you have other things that you're looking to do? Anything that you can share?
Well, no, I have a plethora of products. I just, until we get like that big investor to really help, because R&D is just so expensive, and nailing it down to mass scale. So I bootstrapped the sausage launch ourselves, and I swore to myself after that launch we would not be launching any more products until we get our big investor. But no, I have a crab cake or crab-ish cake that I've worked on. I have a crock like hemp beer cheese that's just so amazing. And then the classic that Colorado refers to as crack, the hemp nacho cheese sauce. People love that.
I think that was one of the first things that I came across years ago when I first met you, Carla, at one of those business networking events for the industry in Denver. And I was like, oh, hey, this is kind of tasty. It's different. I'm like, there must be more to this.
Yeah, people love the hemp cheese. It's just one of those bottling those are whole other animals in the food world. So, I don't.
Strategic decisions.
Yeah, I do it for events, things like that. I make it for friends, stuff like that. But no, we've continued making history. We launched the first hemp food NFT.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah. So there's been some hurdles like learning, because one of my big issues with the NFT world is the gas fees and things like that. It's very, it eats up energy, and I didn't like that. And so the group that I went with uses a wax wallet and atomic hub. And so they're a lot more eco-friendly and very low gas fees, but there's hurdles around that. So we're still learning, because now we're basically just catering to their market, and so we're trying to bring our people into it. So we're actually in a learning phase of trying to get it a little more user friendly.
We can relate to that. Christina went through a crash course and did some NFT artwork for disc golf, as well as some of the sports products that I started making. And we can relate to the challenge, but it's a new frontier.
Yeah, it's, I'm like, wow, I've made history. Okay, what do I do from here? Let's start those sales. Come on, But yeah, so essentially, I guess I'm catering to the wax world, which, I need to figure out, because a few people have even like, Carla, I gave up. It's really hard to set up these wallets. And I'm just like, okay.
And I think coming from a tech background, I think that that's something that more companies are really going to get into. And I think we're going to see it become easier. I think we're going to see it become more eco-friendly. So it is more conducive to our industry and to industries that are looking to be more sustainable in what they're doing. And I feel like, especially after the pandemic, I feel like our world just kind of shifted a little more virtual than it ever has been in the past. And I really do feel like the NFTs and the crypto world is going to be the way of the future, but it's going to take it a few years, I think, before everybody really kind of catches on. I think we're still on that cutting edge curve there.
Yeah, I keep finding things to trailblaze, apparently.
Oh, the nature of being a pioneer.
For the rest of this year, 2022, Carla, aside from that food service conference in Chicago in May, what are some of the other big things that you have on the calendar for Hempway Foods?
I don't really have too many events coming up. I might do Veg Fest. I just got to decide, because it's my son's 15th birthday, the weekend of it, so I feel bad. But anyway, I might do Veg Fest. I'm trying to decide. But we should, we're looking at further expanding in Southern California. I do a lot of, I'll do small demos, things like that. And I'll be getting back into the demos at Whole Foods around Colorado. But just, really trying to do, getting our foothold into stores, getting our foothold into restaurants. And then I'd like to have, by the end of the year, I'd definitely like to have the cooking show up and going, because I just think that'll complement everything else we do with, just how to use our products. It's a great burger, obviously, but it's so much beyond that. You can do anything with it.
Well, and I think too, especially in today's world, I think those multimedia, different ways of getting your message out there, getting your product out there. I think the cooking shows, more, the recipes, things like that. I think those are things that people really love to see anyway. So I think the cooking show is definitely a great idea for you.
It's fun. It's always fun. I love feeding people.
Maybe you'll consider the Lemon Haze Executive Golf Classic if it makes it to Denver this year.
Yeah, I'm open to it.
And the Crypto Cannabis Club is going to be there.
Oh, fun.
Carla, is there anything that we missed that you want to talk about? Is there anything exciting going on at Hempway that we haven't touched base on? And other than that, the next question would be then is to have you tell everybody, one, where can they find the Hempway Foods, and then how can they contact you if they're interested in, maybe a business opportunity or getting your product into their retail store?
I mean, as far as, exciting new things for Hempway, it's like I said, it's every day it seems like a new opportunity is potentially, turning up. But, like I said, it's just, working on continual expansion. Most of the Colorado Whole Foods have our products. We pitched to King Super, so we should be hearing back from with their final acceptance any day. But yeah, just further expanding Colorado, further expanding Southern California, growing our natural chains out there. And then I really would like to say we're going to have that wonderful dream investor that we've been looking for. by the year end. Therefore, we can start 2023 with some new product launches. I'd like to bring out, a mushroom burger for the, mushroom hemp burger. I mean, it would just be so amazing. The crab. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things. I would, and I'd like, I'd really like to go forward with the prepared food line. I think it would be, there's so many potentials on that, but so no, hempwayfoods.com is our website. It's got direct links to the NFTs and also where our products are carried, but obviously in Colorado, Whole Foods, Lucky's, a lot of the independent co-ops, Nooch Market, which is a really cool vegan market. And then always, check out Cactus Jack's and Cooper's on the Creek. Those are always amazing restaurants to hit up. But we have several others. Farm to Truck is one of our amazing food trucks that does really good wraps with our crumbles, and always looking to expand restaurants and retails. info@hempwayfoods.com is our email. And in California, Southern California, we've got Jimbo's, Organic Roots, Rainbow Acres, which is such an OG natural food store in LA, and bringing on some potential new accounts out there with hopefully Mother's Markets and Fraser Farms as well. So
Okay, so Carla, it's Southern California. It's hot, it's summer, and you've got this great Hempway burger that you're about to bite into at a restaurant. What is the perfect vodka-based drink to pair with a Hempway burger?
Highway Vodka from Ben Williams.
Sure, but what is the cocktail that you use? Are you going with a Cape Cod, so vodka and cranberry? Or are you going, something like an Arnold Palmer route?
I would go like a mojito route a little bit.
Nice.
But made with vodka instead of rum.
Okay, a mojito with vodka and a Hempway burger.
Yeah, I think that'd be delicious.
All right, I like that idea. Gonna have to do an NFT of that picture.
We're definitely going to have to check out your NFTs, Carla. That's awesome. We're excited to hear about those. But it's been phenomenal. One of the things that I love in this job is talking to other women that are in this industry and have really persevered. And obviously from your story, you are persevering and you're doing everything that you need to do to, move your company forward, move the industry forward, maybe take a few of those stigmas and stereotypes off of the plant. And it just seems like it's really kind of opened up the doors for a lot of women in our industry to move forward with something that they're very passionate about, and that's clearly what you're doing.
No, I think, if you can't be passionate about what you're doing, then why do it?
Most definitely.
I think we all can agree on that one.
Well, Carla, thank you so much for taking the time out today and joining us. And we'll definitely be sending some people along to your website and helping you get your word out there. And hopefully we can help you find that dream investor too by getting your word out there. So just keep doing what you're doing. And you know what? I'm gonna make my husband make the drive to go find a Whole Foods just so we can go find some Hempway burgers.
But yeah, thank you so much. I've enjoyed being on the show.
Thank you for doing this, Carla. It's been awesome to have you as a guest on our show. And, onward and upward, fighting the good fight, because hemping ain't easy.
No, it's really not.